Hello and welcome to Couple Tales.life, the colorful shades of grey. Now, this topic is kind of tricky and sensitive at the same time. This has come from a subscriber, and here's the question: do you tell a friend that the spouse is cheating on him or her? And if you do, what really is the right way, or is there a right way, so to speak, to do that? So, today we're going to discuss about this aspect.
So I don't have an answer to both because I don't know if forget the right way. I don't even know if it is right or wrong. So I cannot go to the way at all. And yes, it is tricky, and yes, it is very sensitive because you're actually talking. I don't have to explain the situation or the circumstance. So here, it was interesting for me because again, it was a topic which I was wondering if we should take it up or no. Because you know what, we also don't want this show to be controversial because we do not actually give personal opinions or answers, or we just say okay, there is a perspective, and it's also the perspective which is very easy to apply. It's a very practical perspective that we give, which is, and if you see the underlying commonality between all the episodes is that I always make it mine. I don't say it's the other person's fault or any, because that's not the intention. That's for me. If you want to grow, it's like I've always said, it's easier to grow from yourself within, and then a lot of things changes. So over here, when you say, is it okay to tell your friend if the spouse is cheating, in case of spouse, a male or a female, there's again no gender over here. You know, it got me thinking because one is that this, if you're going to do something about it, like we spoke about in our depression episode, where we said that are you okay to put the person before you? Over here, that's an important question to ask, because you are taking a responsibility which can have not only consequences but grave consequences, maybe. So it's a responsibility which you need to understand if you need to take or no. And the interesting part over here that I was thinking about was that while you're making this call, whether I should tell my friend or whoever you know about this, is that don't make this a problem. Don't make your problem about whether you should share or not bigger than the person's problem. Would actually, if there is a spouse cheating, then that's a serious problem, right? So I'm just saying that if you are going to, whatever you decide, and if the decision is to say, okay, I will tell my friend, then be sensitive to the fact that don't make your issue of, oh, I am saying, I am being this correct person, and bigger than actually the problem, which is your friend is currently in a relationship which is, dodgy or challenged.
Yeah. But Geetu, doesn't it become a problem? I'm just
Yes,
debating
please,
on the
please,
point that you're
yes.
saying that don't make it bigger, but it's a huge moral dilemma, so to speak, isn't it, for the person, bolu, nahi bolu? Because nahi, if you don't say, then also it's somewhere that says that
Yes,
am
later they'll
am I
say
being,
if you knew.
yeah, and if
absolutely.
I say, then see what you've landed
It's a
up doing.
double-edged sword. Absolutely. And your question is so relevant, Vivek, and that's why I think one can be very intelligent in handling this thing. And how can you be intelligent is that, first and foremost, confirm.
Yeah.
Be
Oh my God.
very, very sure
Yeah.
that this is confirmed news. It's not coming from I think, or it is not just, don't term a flirting as a relationship, or so confirm before you're doing this for your own good, okay? Secondly, after you confirm, see Vivek, there are a lot of relationships where, like I said earlier, a relationship has its own DNA, and how those two people wish to deal with it or navigate around it is their call. So a lot of times it's extremely personal, right? So you don't know
What's going on between them?
and you don't know if they already know or if they don't, right? So in that case, that's why I said, don't make your, like you said, the moral compass within, don't make it bigger than actually the problem. So take a step back. I'm not saying, like I said, I'm not saying you do what you want to do, but I'm saying take a step back and operate intelligently, confirm. Okay, say if you have got this confirmed, again be intelligent and you know what, in a general way, probably talk to your friend saying, example, that you know, I heard, actually I know somebody whose husband is cheating, and you know, so you know, you're figuring out,
Sussing out the person.
exactly,
Yeah.
that you know, what are the thoughts, how are we doing. Don't be insensitive, don't prioritize your moral compass
Over the other person.
over the other person, because that, guys, is a relationship which we don't know anything about. We don't know how they want to navigate. We don't know if they see, if a lot of couples get out of this by working on it, and then they may say, I never want to speak about this. So if they don't want to speak about it, they may never want anybody to know, right? So, you know, respect that. Don't take away this choice. Always don't take away. So your moral compass cannot be bigger than what is happening, right? I mean, that is the first choice that you should, the first sensitivity that you should show, not a choice. So that's why, so suss it out, as you said, that, you know, go and say this, that, oh, you know, this is what, and then you'll figure. Also, Vivek, we are quite instinctive as people, you know, so we know when a person kind of knows or what. Just look for these. So I'm saying, evaluate these things, figure out, and then decide whether you really want to or you don't want to. And later, if the friend actually comes and tells you that I'm really upset that you did not tell me about this, you always have a choice of saying, I'm really sorry, maybe I did wrong by you, but you know what, I was not sure if I could, you know, I could handle it, or I wanted to. Remember, you have a choice. The problem is to say sorry. I understand, and now that you've told me, I will be there for you. Or it could be, why did you tell me? I didn't want to. And yet again, I'm sorry, but I thought, you know, so whatever your way of dealing with it is, I'm just saying, be a little intelligent, confirm it, figure out if that person knows. How is that person? Somebody is really private and may not want to ever discuss it. So leave it, right? Because see, that's what I mean by saying don't prioritize your moral compass over them.
True. Right. Because it's also your relationship with that person. So
Yes.
somewhere all those things would also come into play. So
absolutely,
I think what Geetu said today is at least I am totally with this, and I understand where you're coming from, because it's about the choices which you will weigh in your mind and do the pros and cons, because what it can do to the other person or their relationship cannot be you know, cannot,
it's much bigger
reverses and bigger. So
and the last thing that I want to say is that when you speak about the moral compass, that, you know, it is it's also a very nice thing to go back and actually say, why is this so important for me? Because in that, a lot of time, the tricky part is that I would not stay with somebody. So I cannot, I think she should not.
Personal bias.
Yes. That, you know what, this is something that I would not tolerate. So I don't think that she should tolerate it. And I think it is right. See, this is extremely personal opinions that you are projecting on somebody. When you're dealing with something like this, it's not yours. So you please don't bring in your opinions over here. You do it if you are in that situation. Don't believe that others should do it because it's your belief system. Let them choose their belief system. let them do. So, like, very appropriately, Vivek's t-shirt over here is saying, do what is right, not what is easy. Over here, the right does not mean tell. That right or wrong, one is, it's a labeling, but also that concept is also, tricky. What is right for you may not be right for me. And what is wrong for you may not be wrong for me. So that's the reason why I always say start from within.
Thank you for joining us, and thank you for writing to us as well and communicating with us. Look how inspired we are that even
Yes.
wardrobes are decided according to the topics. So do subscribe to the channel coupletales.life, the colorful shades of grey. This is Vivek Kapoor signing off.
And I'm Geetu Purkayastha, and thank you for all the questions that you're giving. It's meaningful, the journey. It gives my journey meaning. So thank you.